Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Such serious music actually when you just step onto the stage. To be honest, it was very nerve-wracking until this moment, but now it's become less nerve-wracking because first of all, such wonderful girls were on stage before me, so they warmed up the audience. I basically don't even need to do anything anymore, and therefore we will be able to chat about such a cool topic today. Yes, and I will tell you something new, something that perhaps no one has talked about before me today, or maybe someone already has. And today we will talk about the future, because the future is something that will come no matter what, and we all need to understand that the world is changing. We are now seeing how technologies are developing, and we must keep up with these technologies. Therefore, today we will talk about the tokenization of real estate, about how to sell more, and accordingly build the future. My name is Oleg Kurchenko. I am the CEO and co-founder of the company Binaryx, which has been engaged in the tokenization of real estate since 2023. We have been in the market for over 2 years, and I would like to start by telling you the story of how we, in principle, began our journey and where it all originated. In 2019, I had already been involved in the fintech industry and cryptocurrencies for more than 3 years at that time. And I was interested in how, in real life, in the real sector of the economy, it is possible to use cryptocurrency, blockchain technologies. Most likely, most of you have already used them, and even children know what it is. And it was precisely then that the idea of using blockchain technology or to transfer ownership rights and transform them into a digital format was born. I will talk a little more in detail about our journey later. So you have an understanding that since 2019, we have been engaged in this topic in principle and accordingly constantly monitor this market. And since 2019, a huge number of changes have occurred. A large number of financial institutions have emerged in this market, which have accelerated this market over the past year, and accordingly, it has grown by more than 200%. More and more legislation is now being adopted that allows for the tokenization of assets and the creation of new products around this industry. And by 2030, according to forecasts from major analytical companies, this market will reach approximately $16 trillion. Therefore, we all understand perfectly well that this market is a new niche that needs to be utilized. And if you don't take advantage of these opportunities now, you might end up outside the ship and lose a huge amount of time. And your competitors will already capture the lion's share of the market. But before moving on to a more detailed analysis of the cases that I have prepared for you today, I would like to talk about what tokenization is in general. Perhaps let's have a chat. I would like to get to know you a little better. Friends, please raise your hand if you are involved in development in Bali. Are there many developers here? Yes, I see, thank you. And who here owns real estate agencies? There are some, yes, about the same number. Some build, some sell, and that's great. And the last question up for you, who is involved in investments or came to look for investment opportunities? To invest in Bali, please raise your hands. If there are investors here, investors too. We actually have quite a balanced audience gathered here. There are both, but for investors, I'll say right away I won't have much content today, and I will reveal it additionally at our event, which we will. Right? Great, okay. So can you hear better now? Super, thank you. Yes, and for investors, I will reveal the topic of our topic at our closed event, which we are organizing over the next 2 weeks. At the end, I will share a QR code with you so that you can attend this event. Today, we will talk more about developers, real estate agencies, and how this technology can directly benefit them. But first, for those who don't understand what tokenization is and what this term means, I would like to explain it in quite simple terms. Everyone has probably already heard or encountered it. Bitcoin, everyone has already heard of or encountered USDT. Many of you are likely accepting payments in USDT. But to understand what tokenization is, everyone then understands that USDT and Bitcoin operate on blockchain technology. Tokenization is like an additional setup on blockchain technology that allows users to transfer donos assets. More precisely, the ownership rights to these assets in digital format. This increases the accessibility of these assets, makes them more liquid, and allows them to be transported. And blockchain here as a technology serves as an open registry, where ownership rights can be verified at any time, whether you truly own a particular asset. And based on this technology, based on our research that we initiated in 2019 and launched our platform, in 2023 we created a marketplace that has three main types of participants. There are investors who can invest in real estate properties, and on the other hand, property owners who list real estate properties. On our platform, we have management companies, real estate agencies, and legal firms that oversee all transactions and activities. In the last 2 years, we have gained over 20,000 users, properties in 3 countries, and we have sold real estate properties, more precisely, not zero, valuing them at more than $3 million. And now, when we started this work, we worked a lot also with various developers. We communicated with real estate agencies. And around 10 surveyed yes, around 20 surveyed real estate agencies, around 10 surveyed developers, all expressed the main problem currently present in the market. It is that their marketing is becoming increasingly ineffective each year, and consequently, 90–95% of leads they just discard as waste because these are irrelevant leads. We fully understand that these are the numbers that exist now, and accordingly, the leads we receive from marketing campaigns still need to be processed, which causes an overload in the sales department, and consequently, we understand that over time, the cost of a lead also increases, making our marketing campaigns less effective. And according to the statistics we managed to gather, yes, over the last 2 years, from 2023 to 2025, the cost of a lead has increased on average from about $22 to $35, which is approximately 59%. And this accordingly shows you that you are spending more on advertising campaigns, but earning less. And all your investors who come to invest in real estate, they actually, let's be honest, all the people we are currently working with, they have the opportunity to invest in other asset classes such as cryptocurrency, stocks, the stock market, and so on and so on and so on. And accordingly, these investors can move to where it is more profitable to invest. And what do we mean by this? We understand that now, when technology allows people to invest with greater flexibility, when technology provides the opportunity to invest with greater adaptability, it is necessary to adjust to the market. Because I admit honestly, when in last year, there was an announcement of the latest GPT chat when it started conducting deep research and performing tasks better than 85% of my employees. I was a little horrified, and most likely you were just as shocked. Who is currently using artificial intelligence in their life? Please let me know. 85% of people, maybe even 90%, raised their hands. That's great, right? Your lives have most likely changed significantly with artificial intelligence, and accordingly, it has integrated into your lives. And who is already using artificial intelligence for their business? Please let me know. See, there are fewer people. Why is this happening, friends? Why do you use it in your personal life but not for business? And this also needs to change, because there you see a huge number of people who are engaged in some activity use artificial intelligence in their personal lives while their competitors also use it in business. Consequently, they gain a competitive advantage. The same goes for other technologies, the same goes for tokenization. Right now, what we are giving to developers, what we are offering, or we are offering to developers, these 95% of leads with whom they previously couldn't work, we are suggesting to start working with them. We fully understand that out of these 95%, at least 50% will be leads that are completely irrelevant. And the remaining part is 40–45% of leads with whom it is still possible to work, but who simply lack the funds to make a purchase. of the entire property, or they are not ready to take on a mortgage, borrow money somewhere, and accordingly enter into debt obligations. And based on the cases, on the results we currently have, the slide here states a sales increase of 15 to 20% with various developers. But in the last 2 cases of our collaboration with developers, we had cases where out of 9 villas, we sold 3 properties through tokenization. Simply for investors who have a relatively small average check. And further, I will be showing examples, but I would like to focus on what tokenization essentially brings and why people and businesses might start working with it. The main problem that developers are still facing in general is the inability to work with a single client for a long time. If we compare the work of a real estate agency, if we compare the work of developers, most developers and real estate agencies now use the opportunity to work with a client once. Very rarely, in rare cases, in about 5, at most 7% of cases, the client returns to the developer or the real estate agent once more, and they go on to purchase the next property. Therefore, the marketing expenses that you incur month after month, they do not give you results in the long term. With the technology we offer, this is what we are already seeing now. Our clients make 20, 30, 40 transactions, which, yes, they may not immediately allow for a sale there for $200,000, $250,000, $300,000. But over time, they provide the opportunity to earn more simply by retaining those same clients and not spending money, such an amount on marketing expenses. And therefore, I would like to talk about what we are currently preparing for developers, because for the past 2 years, we have been working exclusively in a closed mode, in a closed format, where we independently handled marketing and attracted our users. But we have 2 strategies that we are currently pursuing. Our main goal is to create a product that makes real estate investments more profitable through technology. Because we are all in the same boat and we all suffer from the same problem when an investor comes to us, and I have already mentioned this problem. When an investor comes to us, we need to compete for, of course, with other financial instruments, and we simply cannot withstand this competition because people go where there is more income and how to interest people in investing more in real estate. It's quite simple here. They need to be given a variety of choices. First of all, they should have the opportunity for a more flexible exit from their investments, and accordingly, their investments should be liquid. And we already have such a solution. It will be constantly refined, it will be constantly improved, but this is a secondary market solution. That is, people who are already investing through our platform, and accordingly, like in tokenized assets, they can easily sell their share or their entire investment portfolio in 3 to 4 minutes. This is exactly the average transaction time it currently takes for us to exit investments. On our platform, even though there aren't actually that many users, similarly, we plan to change the lending and mortgage market to make it more accessible for everyone, regardless of which country a person lives in, regardless of their financial situation. And I already said yes, that we are currently preparing our new product. We strive to become a kind of Amazon in the real estate sales niche, and will provide developers the opportunity to create their own pages on our marketplace where they can list their properties, and consequently offer them to people, to their clients with whom they are already working. And this will open up their opportunities and prospects for each developer to use this technology. And together with you, we can make real estate investments more profitable, more liquid, and more attractive to a wider audience. Because another problem, which I haven't mentioned yet, that developers currently cannot provide for investors, and all the financial literacy gurus, all the gurus and the people who teach finance and investments, they all shout in unison that the main task, your task as an investor, is to create compound interest. And let's imagine a real case where a person has money. $250,000, $300,000 for one villa. He buys this villa and it consequently earns $3,000 to $5,000 from it. What happens next? He won't be able to buy himself, go in 6 months or even a year, another real estate property. He needs to create, additionally accumulate capital. And with the tool we offer, and due to the fact that people can buy tokenized assets, from a small check, namely, we are currently working from $50, but to be honest, our average check is much higher, and right now our clients are buying for tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, and this gives a person the opportunity to reinvest every earned capital that he has already earned from real estate properties, and by doing so, create compound interest, thereby increasing their average return. And we already have quite a few successful cases. We have tactically managed over 30 real estate properties in different countries. These include Montenegro, Turkey, Indonesia, and predominantly we are currently working in Indonesia. We can look at the slide to see the number of investors and the average checks within the real estate properties that are already available on the platform. And further, we plan to expand into other countries in the same way. And consequently, what will this offer you as developers? The users with whom you will work will be able to invest and diversify their investment portfolio rather than turning to other developers. In other words, by attracting a client once, they stay with you forever. And accordingly, they always earn money with you, regardless of whether they buy the properties you sell them or not. And this is one of the key advantages, and consequently, this technological advantage allows each party to earn more money. Everyone understands perfectly well that in 1 or 2 years it will already be too late, and accordingly, now is the best window of opportunity to start working with tokenization, tokenized assets. And I remember when we first presented our product 2 years ago. Now, the situation looks completely different. We already have a huge number of successful cases, and we are ready to teach you, ready to share the results we have achieved on our own, and those we have obtained with other developers. And if you want to learn more about how it works, to communicate personally, in person, and find out more. Cases to learn. We have specially prepared a closed event for you, which we will be holding over the next 2 weeks. And I would like to invite you to this event. You need to scan the QR code, join the group where we will announce where this event will take place, and accordingly, and we will meet there in person, chat, exchange experiences, and gain new insights. Additionally, I will send this presentation to our group as well. And also, what is not mentioned here, we prepared a report on real estate tokenization, on real estate investments, and generally on new interaction mechanisms and interaction with clients, investors, and how all of this is developing. Our niche report is over 30 pages, which you can also receive if you join the group via the QR code. So friends, I am grateful to you for your attention, I am grateful for your feedback, and I am grateful that you listen to me. Do we have answers to the questions? Questions in general, basically, Yes, and I am ready to answer 2 of your questions. If anyone has questions, you can raise your hands. Voice, I just have no doubt.
Well, not good from me. No.
Wow. That's laughter, but not.
Profitable, I heard.
If you are not subscribed to my channel, then 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
Examples. Family, Kachaminya kids.
And you have,
I imagine it. And here I have, I think there were 32,000 people, and all of us with a melody received from this person. He saw communication with those with whom he just turns on these who slept.
Okay, thank you very much. These are great questions, and we are actually already working with you. We didn't zero out, but to the hotel. Yes, you are probably aware, so you most likely already have answers to these questions, but others do not. Great. Then we will be answering. For developers, we are currently offering, of course, training, including self-training on how to sell. And we sell in the same way on our behalf. This is the answer to the question of which investors will be entering the platform and how it will work. We strive for every developer to learn to use this technology independently without our external involvement. And our task is to provide a tool through which you can sell more real estate. Currently, we are selling independently, and if you have any products that you sell on your own, this is very important. Those that are currently under construction, we can meet with you separately and discuss. We have a team for listing real estate properties, and the main criterion we focus on is profitability. Why? Because we all understand perfectly well that investments in real estate are driven by financial opportunities. These are purely financial opportunities, and people pay attention solely to profitability. Therefore, we must provide them with excellent opportunities in which they can invest. And we as a platform are engaged here not only with one task, but we have one main task. The main task is to select the highest quality developers and the highest quality properties that will bring investors maximum profitability in the future. Therefore, our task is to establish such rules, and we are currently working on this. At the moment, we manually select all real estate properties, but a little later, mechanisms will appear that will do this automatically. Therefore, I cannot tell you now how many properties would we be prepared for. For example, we could take from your complex. In theory, we can tokenize the entire complex that exists. The main thing is to attract a sufficient number of investors. And at the moment, as I already mentioned, 35% of one of the complexes, which are currently, the developer we worked with, sold specifically through tokenization. In the future, I am sure this number will grow, and the more investors there are, the easier it will be to interact with them, and the faster the properties will be bought out.
And there, just one question. Another one. It's only from here.
I'm being shown that it's not. Let those who want to come to me, I'll be standing there and we can talk in person.
Okay.
Do you have a question?
Have a question? Will it be really useful? Just wondering.
Go ahead. Thank you. Could you please speak louder?
Yes. Louder.
Faster, faster. You know that in the existing world, in the magnetic world, in the sphere of the sphere, in the sphere of the sphere, it cannot be bigger than in the sphere of the sphere. This is a great
question. Yes, this is a great question. I can only say one thing. Yes, I have already partially answered this question. In my previous answer, that we focus exclusively on profitability. That's the first thing, yes. We don't have any matrix ready at the moment within which we can operate, so we select developers and real estate properties manually because we are currently forming this algorithm for placing real estate properties and developers that can meet certain parameters. Well, that is, we are still gathering data. No, with this matrix. But you can reach out, talk to us personally. and we will determine whether we are ready to work with you or not. Because our goal, I'll just reiterate, is to create a tool that suits any developer, and to create a tool that will provide opportunities for developers. That will allow developers to sell their real estate to their target audience, but in fractional investments. Great, thank you all for your attention. I wish you a good day and great investments.